Welcome to Ask Starbase. I'm Dory, and today I'm going to be answering questions sent in from some of our explorers from South Elementary School. Snowy wants to know, how many galaxies are out there? And Purple Soccer wants to know, how many stars? Since galaxies are made of stars, let's start there. Before we get into numbers, it's important to keep in mind that when we are looking at something as vast as the universe, it's impossible to get an exact answer. Scientists who study the stars and space have to rely on making estimates using the data they can collect. Astronomers used the Hubble telescope to take incredibly detailed pictures of parts of the sky. From there, they counted how many galaxies they could detect. Then they multiplied this number by how many of these pictures they would need to take if they were going to photograph the entire sky. Based on this process, they initially concluded that there are about 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. However, once the data from NASA's New Horizons probe was analyzed, this number was updated in January of 2021. Since this probe was able to move beyond the ambient light and dust clouds close to the Hubble telescope, this probe was able to get a better picture of how many galaxies are glowing in interstellar space. A 2016 study hypothesized that if the universe contained 2 trillion galaxies, these galaxies would produce about 10 times more light than what we had been able to observe at that time. The New Horizons team only found twice as much light. Based on this data, we now estimate the number of galaxies to be in the range of hundreds of billions instead of 2 trillion. Now that we've narrowed down the number of galaxies, it's time to look at the stars. This question is even more challenging to answer than the one about galaxies. Trying to count stars individually would be like trying to count the grains of sand on a beach. As a result, scientists use samples and math again to make predictions. Some base their estimate on the number of galaxies and the assumption that the number of stars in our Milky Way is the average for a typical galaxy. If we assume 100 billion stars per galaxy, and about 200 billion galaxies, that would mean 20 billion trillion, or 20 sextillion stars. However, galaxies can vary in shape and size. Other astronomers use both the number of galaxies and how bright or luminous they are to find this answer. The current estimate from this method is about 70 billion trillion, or 70 sextillion stars. So this leaves our estimates at somewhere between 20 and 70 sextillion stars, depending on the method you choose to use. As scientists and engineers around the world continue to create more powerful tools to observe our universe, we will continue to learn more about it. Thanks for watching this episode of Ask Starbase, and a special thank you to Snowy and Purple Soccer for sending in this question. If you have a STEM question, please send it to us at ask@starbase-ct.com, or you can go to our website, starbase-ct.com, and submit it there. Stay safe and be well. Bye!